poverty, of course, is induced. In fact, it is created. It is created from Wall Street. We must first remember historically that Wall Street was a place where they bought and sold slaves. I mean, the question is the very nature of the capitalist system and so on. But in that, we've got to begin to look and see what it is that we have here in Wall Street. If we then have historically where they started out selling slaves, we can then see what happens eventually where we get to Lehman Brothers. We can then go through the whole gamut of what it is that these guys do, what in fact they do with derivatives, what it is in fact they do with the street card tricks that they call the economy. Why is it in fact that they play these games, and who sets it up? Billions of people are living on less than $1 a day. For instance, that one born in Mexico already has about $8,000, $12,000 debt before you breed your own first bred. Where I was born, in Trinidad, for instance, 1.2 million people. We have oil, we have pitch, we have, and yet we have people with dengue fever. We have an unequal distribution of wealth. If we did, then everybody in Trinidad would be millionaire. And because that's not so, we can look at the IMF and we can say, what is it they do? No loans for the guys they don't like, soft loans for the ones that they do. You have to tie on with the socio-political, the economical space of what it is that governments do, what their real interest is, what is it that the industrial military complex does, and how in fact they play this game on what they call a free market on one hand, hard, and then the soft one where they give you some charity somewhere. In Africa, we have the most resources, most wealth, but the poorest of people. A little kid in the Congo somewhere has coltan, which they put in your mobile phone somewhere. It is a rock. He digs that out, which is that so that every phone has to work with that component part, but yet these people are poor. We're all victims of imagination. We look at the World Trade Organization and they said it's a free market, but no, it's not. It's a stock market. Of all financial institutions on, is not what it is that they deliver. It is the end result is what is the profitability. And I understand that we have self-interest, and I understand that it does that. But there's an enlightened self-interest, which says, hang on, I go to a restaurant, but there are 50 beggars outside. Which means that, hey, I don't care how good the food is, you could not enjoy that food because, hey, you're aware of that 50 other people out there who will probably mug you, shoot you, beg you, give you a bad time, so your digestion cannot go down. Aid is a way of how it is that we control people, how we give them, how we make them lose their dignity. Because really, if we had a free market, if they didn't put all the blockages and so on with the stuff, if in fact you put aid to the development, then people can do that. But I think there's always someone somewhere is making some profit out of it. It's not that there's no aid. Aid is just another way of those who administer that money to make the money, moving it from their pocket to their friend's pocket, and so you get a little crumbs out of it, really. In fact, what it is like is a really good PR exercise, because any of those organizations, those charity organizations, they take about 80% of their stuff is spent on administration and so on. And then you further go on. You then look at what happens. You look at that organization and says, oh, we're raising the money to raise awareness, not to give to the poor people, so that to leave people in poverty, in fact, is one of the ways that you build. That negative equity that we have is the way that they build their business. With the increase in spread of poverty in the world, it makes us all insecure. Because the poor is going to get much more desperate, and the rich can hide behind all their fences, but but it's always going to be broken. Again, I go to enlightened self-interest. You have to be able to create a world that people can, that people think that they're part of. California is bankrupt, ready, but they will continue to they'll continue to somehow keep that afloat, whereas they won't. Even in America, they won't keep New Orleans afloat somewhere. So it's the distinction between who gets what happens where. It's is about the decision makers, and then you have to understand who the decision makers are and what their interests are and why it is they make decision on a type of decision on this point and not on the other. You know, same situations, but they'll make different decisions on that. They play this game that always that you think you've got money, but you actually haven't anything really. You know, so that we all think, hang on, we got some shares, we're part of the capitalist system, we got a car and a TV. So what you really have, you haven't actually got, and given the amount of wealth in the world, given the amount of people, and given that people create wealth, there should be no need for people. Food, clothes, and shelter should be the first thing that we have, and we should be able to move on. We actually believe that, hey, this system delivers 27 different flavors of ice cream. We are really living well, you know. And so we are, again, part of our machination, again, part of the illusion that we do. The very nature of government themselves and bureaucrats is that they are not going to be able to deliver, nor would they want to deliver the answers to the world. What they will continue to do is to do some stopgap measure at all times, so that we'll never, in a way, if you really believe that the government somehow will deliver Shangri-La on earth and so on, they're not going to do that. Hence, because we know that, we then run out for our own self and try as much as we can and try to get as much of the cake, harming the rest of and killing the world and killing the earth as we do that.